This time I'd like to call the Nash County Board of Education Committee meetings to order. Dean Edwards. There. Zach Gray.
Here. I'm gonna have to look. I can't say why, you know.
Back at Zoom, Dr. Chavis. Ricky Jenkins. Here. Linwood Weeks.
Here.
Mom Whitfield.
Present.
Blank Dunton. Chris Bissett.
Here.
Dr. Washington.
Here.
Okay, starting with the first committee, be Administrative Services and Operation. Mr. Jenkins.
I'd like to call the Administrative Service and Operation Committee meeting to order. Start with roll call. Mr. Gray.
Here.
Ms. Chavis. Mr. Lamb.
Here.
Mr. Whitfield.
Present.
All right. Need approval from last meeting's minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion, been seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes approved. Just the action item, Ms. Sanders. How you doing? I didn't see you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Tonight we are presenting the first budget amendment for this fiscal year. And on behalf of Dr. Ellis, we would like to take this to the full board for approval.
Anybody looked at that? I need a motion.
Make a motion to approve the budget amendments.
Second.
Then move to second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we'll carry it to the full board next week. This next item is for information only, Ms. Wallace.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I'm disappointed that Dr. Chavis is not here because I was excited about presenting what we have done with the policies. So, you know, for several times when we have incidents that occur, she always wants to know how we're forming the existing staff members on the policies that have been shared. So in Assembly, you do have a form that talks about personnel policies. That gives you about 12 policies that are shared with all employees once they're hired, once they go through the onboarding process. Once they're hired and go through the onboarding process and review all of the policies in detail that are outlined here, they also have to sign off on this, and we keep this in their files that they have been exposed to these policies. The next part of the presentation that is uploaded in Assembly. Mr. McQueen, can you go to, it'll say vector policies? That one? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Believe it or not, that Ms. Wallace.
You looked at it?
Yes, I did.
Good. So we have 10 modules
Hurricane comes.
that will be going out to all employees, including maintenance, child nutrition, and our custodians. Even if they don't have access to our email accounts, they can look at it and view it together collectively as a group and sign off on it that they've watched it. The 10 policies, the 10 modules focuses on some major policies that we highlighted, and then we looked at areas where we get a lot of data in terms of these being infractions that have been violated. The first 5 modules are required to be completed during the first semester of school, well, during the first quarter of school. And then the remaining 5 modules, they will have until the end of the school year to look at them all and view them. It is a recording, it speaks to them, so if they're riding along in their car, they want to listen to it, they can do it that way. There's one question at the end of each module that they have to respond to prior to going to the next module to complete. It's very brief, but yet detailed and to the point, and it does address a lot of the concerns that happen to fall in my desk or in my lap on many issues that we deal with. So again, we have listened, we have finally come up with a solution to address the policies and make sure that all of our staff members participate. Are there any questions? If there are none, this is for information only. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wallace. Next, strategic plan is the action item, Ms. Johnson. It's gonna be Dr. Royce who presented it, I would say.
Good afternoon, how's everybody?
Good afternoon.
I'm before you to present the draft of the strategic plan. It is the superintendent's recommendation that we take this to the full board for approval. Our last strategic plan was for the years of 2020 to 2025. That necessitated that we create a new strategic plan to cover us from the next 5 years, from 2025 to 2030. I would like to review with you the process that occurred for us to have this plan to present to you today. When we began this process back in the fall of the 24-25 school year, we began by looking at all of the data that we had, the students' academic data, the attendance data of our teachers and our students, discipline data, and our teacher retention data. Then we started looking at qualitative data, and that was done through our SWOT analysis amongst our stakeholder groups. We have 4 advisory councils. We have a student advisory council, we have a teacher advisory council, an administrators advisory council, and a parent advisory council. They each completed a SWOT analysis. The SWOT analysis looked at our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities, and our threats. Then we also did a panorama stakeholder survey. 4,037 stakeholders completed this survey. This survey provided us a lot of information regarding perception data. Once we had those 3 points of data from our quantitative data and our qualitative data, we started identifying targeted areas that would be able to help us to transcend the next 5 years. Once we had those targeted areas identified, we reassessed our vision and our mission statement with our stakeholders and then went back to them for feedback on the creative vision and mission and made adjustments. After we had the vision and mission statement, we then went to the strategic goals, creating goals and action steps that align with the target areas that were identified, as well as our vision and our mission statement. Our new vision statement that we would like to propose to be acceptable is together we empower all students to achieve excellence, lead with purpose, and thrive in an ever-changing world. Our mission, NCPS, will partner with families, staff, and the community to support every student with the knowledge, skills, and opportunities for lifelong success. Our 5 targeted areas, which we'll call strategic pillars, include academic success, capital management, healthy, safe learning environment, celebrating the excellence of our students, family, and community partners. By focusing on these pillars, Nash County Public Schools aims to provide an equitable and effective education for every student in the district. Our academic goals under Pillar 1 is for Nash County by 2030 will increase the overall proficiency by 5% points each year for each subgroup. Meet or exceed growth in English language arts, math, and science for each subgroup. Increase the overall percentage of students receiving proficiency for CTE credentials to 70%, and increase the number of students participating in our work-based learning programs to 400 students a year. We will also increase the graduation rate to 92% of students graduating within 5 years. and ensure that at least 80% of students who participate in the NCPS preschool program will meet benchmark assessments by the end of their kindergarten year on MClass. In order to achieve this is the areas we're going to focus on: rigorous standards, grade level instruction, engagement, and measurable outcomes. The measures that will be used to determine whether or not we meet these goals are the performance on state and local assessments, school performance grades, graduation rates, district and school learning walks, work-based learning placement, and the performance on CTE credentials. Our second pillar deals with capital management, and the goals for this is by 2030, we will reduce the teacher turnover rate by 10% as compared to the 2024 to 2025 school year. By implementing evidence-based strategies focused on teacher support, collaborative professional learning, and recognition programs. We will reduce the beginning teachers' BT3 turnover rate by 15%. 70% of identified ATSI schools will exceed the SBG cut scores of 32 for the identified subgroups. In order to achieve this, our focus areas will be strategic recruitment and onboarding, professional development and leadership pipelines, evaluations, employee engagement and well-being, performance management systems, BT mentor support and an annual BT conference, and recognition programs based on services provided by the district. To measure these goals, we will use the teacher working conditions survey, climate surveys, exit interviews, and teacher retention data. Our third pillar focuses on healthy, safe learning environment. And by 2030, we will decrease the number of instructional days lost due to out-of-school suspensions by 25% through proactive behavior interventions, staff training, and implementation of restorative practices. Schools will have a success rate of 95% regarding the implementation of the district discipline matrix using quarterly fidelity checks to monitor implementation and ensure fair and equitable disciplinary practices across all schools. Continue with those goals for Pillar 3. We will increase the implementation fidelity of CHAMPS across all schools to at least 90% as measured through walkthrough data in order to improve student behavior, social emotional development, and supports gain in academic proficiency. We will increase the implementation fidelity of SEL supports across all schools to at least 90% as measured by the end of semester school report in order to improve student behavior, social emotional development, and support gains in academic proficiency. And we will decrease the time between referrals to services for students referred for mental health services by 50% based on agency report in order to improve student behavior, social emotional development, and support gains in academic proficiency. In order to achieve these goals, we will focus on mental health and wellness, special education support, behavior supports, nutrition, transportation, and facilities, school safety and crisis response, technology support and infrastructure, walkthroughs, and professional development. To measure our success rate, we're going to look at discipline, data, school health assessment and performance evaluation, attendance reports, Infinite Campus Parent Portal usage report, bus reports, Say Something reports, threat and suicide risk assessment tracking, hospitalization tracking, walkthroughs, mental health referral tracking, and village implementation reports. Our fourth pillar deals with celebrating the excellence of our students. And by 2030, we will strengthen internal and external communication by implementing measurable strategies with the goal of increasing stakeholder trust, transparency, and engagement by a 25% increase in parent, staff, and community satisfaction as measured by focus groups responses and survey results. We will increase the accuracy of parent and guardian contact information in Infinite Campus to at least 50% as measured by successful message delivery rates in Campus Messenger 2.0, and improve the effectiveness of homeschool communication. We're going to ensure that 100% of our schools maintain current website content by updating their pages and content monthly. And we're going to increase the total number of social media followers across all district platforms by 30% compared by our 2025 baseline. In order to achieve this, we're going to focus on clear, consistent messages, multilingual and accessible communication, crisis and emergency communication protocols, branding and storytelling, staff newsletter, and use multiple forms of communication platforms to engage. We will also be bringing Connect, Inform, Engage meetings with our stakeholders. In order to measure this goal, we're going to use Infinite Campus contact data, parent portal app, call, email, and text data through Messenger 2.0, social media metrics, website analytics, survey data, and focus group feedback. Our final pillar is Pillar 5, Family and Community Partnerships. By 2030, 50% of all NCPS parents and guardians will have attended at least one training session or workshop that is sponsored either at the school or district level. 75% of our parents or guardians will report increased confidence in advocating for their children and making informed educational decisions based on annual surveys. And by the end of 5 years, at least 15 active partnerships with local agencies will be established, and 80% of parents will report increased awareness and access to available community resources based on annual surveys. In order to achieve this, we're going to focus on family engagement initiatives such as NCPS Family Ambassadors, empowerment of families resulting in connection and collaboration, community resource alignment, volunteer and mentoring programs, stakeholder feedback and collaboration, maintain the Family Resource Center, which is located at Willowbrook Family Resource Center, and the Village. In order to measure the goals for this one, we're going to measure attendance at family nights, workshops, or school events, our virtual engagement with logins through our online parenting curriculum, SI4 and parent portal usage data, family usage of the Willowbrook Family Resource Center, and our advisory council data. Once again, I want to review this 5 pillars: academic success, capital management, healthy, safe learning environment, celebrating excellence for students, and family and community partnerships. I also would like to add that we'll be meeting twice a semester to look at the data on each one of these goals so that we all know where we are and be able to make data-informed decisions throughout the year on all of the goals that I have mentioned to you. Are there any questions? Yes, sir.
Slide 19.
Do you see numbers?
Yeah. Pillar 4.
I'm sorry, I only repeated because I wanted the mic to be on. My bad.
Can you tell me what it's like? I'm not seeing numbers. So.
That's, Pillar 4, celebrating the excellence
Okay,
of our
so-
students' goals.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sorry.
That's okay.
There you go. On the second bullet, it says increase the accuracy of parent guardian contact information in Infinite Campus to at least 50%. That's a 5-year goal.
It is a 5-year goal.
What percentage is correct now?
I will have to get back to you with that one. I'll get that information back to you.
Okay, I'm just a little concerned on that. It's like, we don't have the right parent guardian information for our kids in a system. That's all. Thank you.
Most of the time we don't, only because parents change phone numbers. And so when you go to dial, you get back that the number is inaccurate. And so therefore we don't always have the right number. And sometimes they fail to notify us when they change phone numbers.
Happy birthday. What do you do? What do you do? I mean, I don't know. I'm
So
just
with
saying.
switching to Infinite Campus, we've had to clean up the data, a lot of it. And so we're working with the data manager on that. And so the current rate right now, when I just did an email the other day, it was like 6,848 contacts that were success rate. And I think it was about 3,000 with no device. So we're working hard to get those numbers. So.
And Heather, doesn't when it comes back, it'll tell which numbers are valid, invalid, and we track that back to the school to see if they can get with
They're supposed
child.
to do that.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a.
And we work very closely now with the, like every Friday we have a meeting, we go over this with student support services meeting. And we're talking about like what the data managers need to do, like what other folks need to do to help get that numbers in the system, especially the contact forms they complete at the beginning of the year and throughout the year.
So if we did a mass call right
Mhm.
now for a weather alert, I think one of the last ones we did was 52% rate that it actually covered, or it called those names, which means about 40-some% it didn't pick up or something happened.
The problem is that when we switched to Infinite Campus, we did not, we were using Apogee and we've had a short turnaround time, which has been nearly impossible to check box that for every single guardian inside Infinite Campus. But it's what all the schools are working on doing right now. And so once they have those number check boxed inside of Infinite Campus, like for example, your profile as a parent, you have 5 different columns and they have to be check marked for your cell phone number or your work number if you want to call, text, if it's an emergency, etc. And so a person has to go in and do that per guardian. So before we were just doing a mass pool because we had a different communication platform and we just switched to Infinite Campus last year. So, but the schools are all working on that, and we're aware of different folks who are trying to help the data managers out as well.
And Infinite Campus is the statewide program that
Yes.
we all have to use now. So it makes a little bit different than what.
But I can work on that current data and send that to Dr. Ellis for him to share with the board.
There's no more questions, then we're gonna request that this be submitted to the full board for voting and approval.
So let me, when we had our strategic plan 5 years ago, just remember, board, that the principals in schools take our draft plan and start building their school improvement plans. Principals have been here for the past 2 weeks presenting their school improvement plans. They have to mimic some of our strategic plans, especially when it comes to the academics and usually the family community partnership. That's some of the stuff they need to mimic our plans based on some of our conversations. So when the end of the year, the principal brings the beginning of the year, principals have a school improvement plan and a PDP, which is their professional plan. The principals meet with us about their PDPs, then it's their school improvement plan. Then at the end of the year, they bring all their information to see if they've met their goals. Okay. That's the same thing we do for you all at the board retreat. We go over our goals just like our principals do with us. So that's why we try to do all the same thing. So when they see this strategic plan, it will kind of sort of, depending on some of the other areas that they have something individual they do, kind of mimic some of our goals. So we're all kind of on the same page is why we do strategic plan. So it's worked out pretty good because we're all talking the same language, basically.
Makes it got there.
Oh, I'm finished. I didn't know if anyone had anything.
Thank you both for your presentation and information you gave us, Heather, and I need a motion to take this to the full board for approval.
So move.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That concludes this committee's meetings. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So move. Second.
I know no one opposes, but all in favor? Aye. All right, meeting adjourned.
Okay, is this the Academic Services and Accountability Committee, Mr. Visit?
Pause.
We can keep rolling with that. So first item on my agenda will be the approval of the previous meeting minutes. Can I get a motion? for Approval? He skipped over things that was academic services. Why you guys are going through.
My line won't clear.
While you're, should be on about page 3, but while you're doing that, I'll do a roll call real quick. Dr. Washington,
Here.
Mr. Lamb,
Yeah.
Link Dutton, and Zach Gray.
Yeah.
You guys caught up with your paperwork? So, need a motion for approval of the previous month's meeting minutes.
So move.
Have a motion, I get a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Chad Thompson, you've got two items on the agenda.
So good evening.
Good evening.
So the first item is our CTE nurse aid MOUs. The nurse aid program requires that each student participate in clinical experiences in order to gain their CNA certification. We have three facilities that we utilize: the Carrollton of Nash, Wilson Pines, and Breckenridge rehabilitation. And the superintendent is submitting this for approval for the board.
Any questions for Mr. Thompson on those contracts?
Make a motion to approve the CTE nurse aid.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Innovation grant.
Yes. So our second item is actually the Education and Workforce Innovation Grant. This has been awarded to us by the North Carolina Department of Instruction. It is worth $100,000. It will be utilized for Jobs for North Carolina Graduates, which is a program that is sponsored by Communities in School. It will support the high school students at Rocky Mount High School as they work towards graduation and their post-secondary next steps. Jobs for America graduates ensure that at-risk students remain in high school, attain employability skills through classroom and work-based learning experiences during high school. Once they graduate, they receive 12 months of follow-up services by JNCG specialist. We are also partnered, as I said before, with Communities in School with this initiative, and Communities in School will actually match the 50% of the grant that's required. They also provide the curriculum and instruction, or the curriculum materials and the programs for this grant. A little later, Dr. Farrow also will present the MOU with Communities in School that's related to this grant. And so the superintendent once again would like to submit this for approval at the full board meeting.
I also move to approve.
Any questions for Mr. Grant, Ms. Thompson, before we move to motion? No questions? Okay, entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carried. And that is all. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. That is all the items for the academic services, so I will adjourn.
Policy Committee, Mr. Weeks.
Okay, I call the policy committee to order. Roll call, Mike Dutton. Zach Gray,
Here.
Dr. LaShonda Washington,
Here.
Mr. Edwards.
Here.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the meetings, meetings from last meeting.
Motion.
Have
So
a
moved.
motion. Can I get a second?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have one policy for action. It is policy 3400, is student evaluation, student progress. Mr. Weber, do you want to speak to this? I do have a question. Could you pull that up, Mr. McQueen? My only question is I look at C and I don't see numerical.
I was going to address that. Thank you.
All right.
That's right, board members, just one policy, 3400. It's been
Got it.
updated to reflect changes in the Associated State Board of Ed policy, as well as your local grading scale. I was going to call out, the C level is not there, but that should be 70 to 79. And that's the only addition to what you see here. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? I need a motion, take it to the board.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Weber, do I need to put that for 30 days or do we do that tomorrow night? I mean, Monday night? Is there anything else we need to do with that policy?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
We need.
Thank you, sir. We are adjourned.
Okay, student support services and operation.
Good afternoon. I'm gonna call the Student Support Service and Operation Committee. I will start with our roll. Is that better? Okay. At this time, I'll call the Student Service and Support Operation Committee meeting to order. Our roll call, Dr. Washington. Here. Mr. Edwards.
Here.
Mr. Whitfield.
Present.
Mr. Weeks.
Here.
At this time, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. All right, this time we'll do a transportation update. Mr. Byers.
Good evening, Board.
Evening.
So I've got some transportation updates that the superintendent presents these items for information only. All right, so the number of bus drivers, we have 96 drivers that cover AM and PM routes. We have 16 drivers that cover the AM or PM. We need a total number of drivers is 125. We're up 7 sub drivers at this time. At this time, we had 13 people to apply for bus driver since August. Right now, we are onboarding 3 of them. The other ones do not have a license, so we have to wait for our next bus class to get them in our next bus class. We have it scheduled, but right now we're just waiting on the bus class to finish up. Something I want to share with you about our job postings. Right now, we have job postings at NCC, ECC, WCC, and a active postings on Facebook. All right. In addition, we are creating a recruitment banner that we're going to put on the side of a bus. The banner is 15 by 16 foot long. And we're going to park that bus in a planned location to pick up other county drivers, other school system drivers, just to help us out. I talked to a few other directors from other counties, and they're planning on doing the same thing. Ridership count. Our ridership count started last week, September 22nd through the 26th. And this is a count of riders on the bus for five days from Monday through Friday. The average student count and the number of buses gives us our official rider count. All right. This determines our funding for next year on our budget. So the more students you have on a bus, bigger your budget is, right? All right, updates on our mechanics. So right now we have one We have one shop supervisor, the inventory manager. We have 3 mechanic 3s. We've got a mechanic 1, 2 fuelers, and a part-time fuel. At this time, we have 4 additional mechanics working for the staffing group that are on track to be qualified as a mechanic 1 once they finish their hours with the staffing group. All right, bus replacement. It's this time of the year. So NCDPI manages the bus replacements based on age and mileage. And there's some exceptions to every rule. Nash County Public Schools have 7 eligible buses to be replaced. Bus 76, 77, we call Smokey Joe. So I know everybody got a text message about the bus smoking up.
Put them out to pasture.
81, 92, 100, 33, 333, and 354. These buses will be replaced this year, and sold next year. Our future projections in 2026, we have 11 buses that are going to be replaced. 27, 28, we have 18. So by 28, 29 school year, we shouldn't have a bus older than 17 years of 2017. So any questions?
We can have Smokey Joe go by Southern Nash before a football game, help with environmental gnats.
Run the mosquitoes out?
And say you need to buy a helicopter and spray it.
If there are no other questions, thank you. This was for information. Oh, thank you, Mr. Spires.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Farrell, we have a CISMOU, and this is an action item.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So some of the information I'm going to share with you, Mr. Thompson has already shared with you about CIS, JNCG. So I just don't want you all to think I'm wasting your time, but it's kind of pertinent to this MOU. So this is a memorandum of agreement between communities and schools and North Carolina Services Group LLC and Nash County Public Schools. This MOU is for CIS's NC Jobs for North Carolina Graduates Program. This program pairs wraparound supports with a small group of students to foster readiness for careers and post-secondary education. The goal is to effectively keep students in school through graduation, expose them to careers in their communities to spark workforce readiness by providing 9th through 12th grade students with curriculum-based classroom instruction, plus an additional 12 months of post-graduation follow-up for students to stay in school and move on to training needs to find a rewarding career. The program is being supported at Rocky Mount High School for 11th and 12th graders. Nash County Public Schools CTE department has partnered with CIS and has received grant funding for the cost of this program. CIS serves as a 50% matching funder as outlined with the expectations of the grant award. One full-time personnel whose site of employment will be at Rocky Mount High School, and that will also be with a classroom or office space as provided for this staff member. Fiscal implications. Nash County Public Schools will provide $33,333 per year for 3 years. This money is coming from the grant that we received. Monthly installments of $2,777.75 over 12 months. Nash County Public Schools payments will not exceed $99,999 over the 3 years. CIS is responsible for funding their portion of the program not covered by the district, including providing a 50% match of grant funds contributed by the district. Again, this funding is coming from the grant that we received. The superintendent presents this item for approval.
Is there a motion?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of taking this to the full board?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you so much, Dr. Farrell. At this time, I'll receive a motion to adjourn. There's no other business. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Our meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
That completes our agenda. Committee meetings, anybody got anything else they'd like to add to this board at this time? Dr. Ellis, I hope somebody's keeping all the data with the new rule about attendance so they can see exactly maybe how bad that rule is. And that would be a good follow-up. If we got anybody doing a thesis on a PhD, that would be a good presentation. With that said, I adjourn the committee meeting for Nash County School. Thank you.
No.